Blast off! Oh my! Can I hear the music? There we go. I can hear the music.
Okay.
And welcome to the Cosmic Cafe Show, where the paranormal is normal. This is our live evening edition. Today's date is, hardly can believe it, February 8th, 2016. And over the next few minutes, we are going to highlight what we feel are the best in space. UFOs, aliens, abductions, Bigfoot, ghosts and hauntings, as well as, well, we don't have any video clip today because I had a minor software crash just about 15 minutes before going live tonight, and I sure didn't have enough time to get that all reloaded. So we will skip the video today because, and you know what, it's just as well because we have on, and let me go ahead and pull up his main screen there for you. I have dun, da, 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 Roger Phillips. Yay, everybody applaud.
Hooray!
He is a brand new guest to the cafe, and I've seen Roger's work on Facebook for, I don't know how long, Roger, but I finally got the nerve up to say, hey, you know what, I saw this super funny video that he did on Orange County Choppers, that TV show with the muscle-bound guy, Paulie Sr. and stuff, and I was just dying laughing. I'm like, I was like, okay, I just definitely gotta do it. So I pulled the trigger and I sent him a message, and he's like, hey, he's here now, long story short. Right?
That's right. I'm glad you pulled the trigger.
Yeah. So I'm super thrilled to have you on the show with us, and if you don't mind hanging out for just a couple of minutes, you can watch the paranormal news that we've collected, and then we'll talk about your cartoons and what you do with Gray Zone, and your appearance on Orange Coast Choppers, or whatever else you want to talk about.
That sounds great.
Awesome. Well, hang tight there for a few minutes. Feel free to laugh out loud. Some people tell me I'm funny, some people don't, but here we go. We'll pop over to our news headlines, and we'll get started with those so we can get back. Incidentally, before, oops, I got the wrong title under Roger. My apologies to you, Roger.
That's okay. Sure, that's all right.
That's what happens when you have software crashing.
Right. And live broadcast.
He's really not Jeff Krause. He's really Roger. So, anyways, yes, that was Roger's. Incidentally, let me just back that up there for you so you can see. That is his a screenshot from his website. We're going to be talking about some of those cartoons. And he's also big time on Facebook. You've probably seen his stuff, so we'll be getting to that after we do the headlines. But first up, on our headline, thanks to my buddy Paul Hickman, he sent this one out. It's a, what is it? It's, well, people are saying it's an ancient Greek statue with them holding a laptop. And so they're saying it's proof of time travel. Yes, according to the article, this artwork shows us that time travel is not only possible in theory, but it actually proves that it actually happened. Now, this is on sciencealert.com. I got the full article link, and they actually have some other pictures and examples showing very, very similar laptops. So I was just like, wow, that's pretty amazing. So definitely want to go check that out. Next one up is, well, talk about amazing. We have a guy who got a video which he believes is definitely a UFO as it shoots across the skies over Russia. And they point out, this was just a couple of days ago this happened, and they point out it was too slow to be a meteor. So this is kind of zoomed in of that video. I was going to play a clip from that video tonight, but I have the link. It'll be up on tomorrow's Daily Show's recap, so you can go watch the video. But like I said, no sense in crying over spilt milk, but I did have a software crash, and I recovered as quick as possible. So we have that UFO. So hey, what else are we going to say about it, right? Can't really show the clip about it, so and I can't cry about my spilt milk anymore. Alright, this one caught our eye here. The trick to finding life on distant planets. Now, this is for our aliens and extraterrestrials category today. We have this interesting story out today from Natalie Wolkover. I think I pronounced her name correctly, and she's a writer for The Atlantic. And the article, as you saw or see there, is titled "The Trick to Finding Life on Distant Planets." Now, I abstracted a quote out of this just so you could, well, get a feel. And what also caught my eye today was the keyword coffee shop. So the quote starts, well, I got to get my little quotey things out. Quote, huddled in a coffee shop one drizzly Seattle morning 6 years ago, the I keep my quotey things up? No, maybe not. The astrobiologist Sean Domagal Goldman. Wait, the guy hyphenates his last name? Maybe it's a girl. Anyways, stared blankly at his laptop. That is a man. Yeah. Why is he hyphenating his last name? Do you know anything about that, Roger? I mean, have you ever guys that hyphenate their last?
Yes, I have a friend of mine. He works in the city, and there are a few men now that have hyphenated last names.
Okay. Well, moving along. he stared at. Oh, I should go back to my Cody things. At his laptop, paralyzed, he had been running a simulation of an evolving planet when suddenly oxygen started accumulating in the virtual planet's atmosphere. Up the concentration ticked from 0 to 5 to 10%. And then his wife asked, "Is there something wrong?" And he answered, "Yeah." And that's all I'm going to share with you, because that's a great hanging point. And I'm sure the Atlantic would really appreciate you going over to their website and finishing the article. So I do provide that link in tomorrow's Daily Show recaps, just for you so you don't have to dig around for it. Now, next, hey, from our Not a Real Sponsor category, yes, we have Gray Earl Tea. Yes. Finally, the Cosmic Cafe is proud to announce that our new line of healthy, human abduction-free Gray Earl Tea. Yes, if you need a smooth, relaxing evening of abduction or contact with your favorite aliens, then the Cosmic Cafe's newest Gray Earl Tea is just right for you. Get 50 tea bags in a single box. That's 50. Yes, 50 relaxing evenings. Thanks to Cosmic Cafe Show's Gray Earl Tea. I'm really excited by having that too. It's a great addition to the cafe. I mean, we've had coffee for a while now, and now we finally have some Gray Earl Tea. I can't get any better than that. And after your abduction experience, you can always get our alien abduction cream, or anti-alien abduction cream that we have, that anti-itch stuff. Fantastic. Yeah, that's fantastic stuff. Anyway, next up, for our abduction experiencer category, speaking of being abducted, thanks to Roundtown UFO Society for this tweet about a man's lifelong experience with UFOs and alien contact. That's all I got for you. I don't have anything more. All right. Now, I don't know why. See that? Did you say something, Roger?
That's interesting, because that one little triangle ship that you showed, that kind of looks like what I saw back in the 1980s.
Oh, were you the man that's featured in the article?
No. But that was. It looked similar to that, but I saw mine in the evening. So that's interesting.
Now, I don't know what CNET's doing, writing stories about paranormal topics, especially Sasquatch, Yeti, Bigfoot. But for our Bigfoot category tonight, we do have, courtesy of Amanda Kusher, the writer for CNET. Well, I don't know if it's courtesy of her, but I'm sure she appreciates us promoting her story. She posted this story about a disturbing video of a snow-stomping Yeti. And there's actually quite a lengthy article. She did a great job researching this, but let me read the quote that I pulled for you. She says, 2 photos were posted to the Spanish language forum forocoches.com on January 29th, and the shaky video appeared on YouTube last week, causing a hullabaloo. Ooh, quotey thing, yeah. She did say hullabaloo, yes. Or hullabaloo.
Right?
Whatever she said.
Yeah.
I continue the quote. Spanish. Ooh, are you drinking some of that Grey Earl tea?
I am.
It's new, yeah. It's really new. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
I recommend it to all your listeners.
Yeah, they should get some. Yes. Anyways, back to the quote. Spanish ski resort bosses have been forced to comb part of the Pyrenees after the images sent the internet into a frenzy. Reads a description of the video posted to the viral VDS YouTube channel. Yeah, that's right. Okay, another way. I was thinking it was some other viral thing, but okay, anyways, we were going to play a clip of that video so you didn't have to go look for it tomorrow, but no, you'll have to go tomorrow. Sorry. So sorry. Well, anyways. Now, this one, I like the guy's, was that a Colonel Sanders kind of mustache and little goatee beard there?
Yeah, I think I saw him during the Super Bowl, one of the commercials.
Yeah. Thanks to North Cornwall Paranormal for the warning about this thingy. According to the Paranormal Herald magazine, they make this article about this questionable ghost hunting device from Ghost Ark. Those are their words, not mine. And I'll quote, I should quote, quoting things again. The Paranormal Herald has tried to reach out to Ghost Ark concerning the over-alarming amount of angry folks in the UK, Australia, and the United States. According to customers' posts on Ghost Ark's Facebook page, the device is dogged with technical problems and poor workmanship. Many reporting poor quality screens, buttons, and that don't work properly, and problems inserting memory cards into the device. I mean, there's nothing more frustrating than having your paranormal ghost hunting device acting up on you. But it does make me wonder. I mean, I finished quoting, by the way. And now I'm talking it out loud. It does make me wonder if the OEM, and that would stand for Original Equipment Manufacturer, if the OEM manufacturer of this Ghost Ark is the same manufacturer that manufactures that little computer chip thingy for Volkswagen. You know, the one that kind of like tells the computer it's doing one thing, but it's really not. It's doing something different. Well, anyways, it's just speculation on mine, and none of mine. I forget I even mentioned it. Alright, so hey, you know what? We have our favorite hashtag CCS Live. Yes, if you want to find all these daily specials and you're not patient enough to wait for tomorrow's email to come into your email box, all you need to do is go to Twitter, type in the CCS Live hashtag, and while you're there, if you're not already following the 13,000 other people that are following the Cosmic Cafe Show, hey, why don't you join in the fun and join the Cosmic Cafe Show? Follow us on Twitter. Incidentally, some of these articles that were on Facebook, we retweeted them on Facebook or reposted them. How do they? Shared it. Oh, that's the word, share. Yeah. You can tell I spend way too much time on Twitter. What is that thing? Facebook? Is that what it's called again?
I think so. I hardly ever use it.
Yeah. And by the way, if you're enjoying the show and you want to show your love and support for the Cosmic Cafe, feel free to throw us a donation anytime you want. You know, we'll be happy to praise accolades to you. And if you want us to sing your praises on the show, you can go ahead and let me say that as well, and I'll mention your name. And if you don't want to, you want to stay anonymous, I won't mention your name. It's that easy. Well, hey, forget about the rest of the paranormal headlines, because, hey, I want to get Roger back on. Roger, hello, finally.
Hi there, Eric.
How are you?
I'm good.
I need a swig of beer. I've been so stressed out. Let me get a little swig of beer here.
Oh, I'm not prepared like you.
I should be drinking the Grey Earl tea, but I ran out.
Oh, that's all right. You know what? I noticed it has 50 tea bags. I was surprised it doesn't have 51. Mm-hmm.
You know, it probably should. That's a great observation. I'll have to talk to the packager and get that fit.
I'd add one more in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Keen
like
observation. I like it.
Yeah.
So as I teased people earlier, I showed them a glimpse of your website, and I told them about your experience on, I guess, a very well-known nationally broadcast show besides Cosmic Cafe.
Yes.
But on with Polly and all those guys. So where do you want to start? I mean, you're such an interesting guy. You're so funny too. I mean, I got a little bit of stars. I'm like a little tongue-tied.
Tie-tongue, yes.
Yes.
Well, that's how I felt on that show, so I know where you're coming from.
Yeah. Incidentally, I should mention to everybody, if you do want to ask Roger questions, I've had problems with the other chat rooms in the past, so what I did is I created my own chat room on CosmicCafeShow.com. All you have to do is click on the chat button or just type in CosmicCafeShow.com/chat. Or if you don't want to type all those digits, you can just do ccs.chat in your web browser, and that'll bring you straight over to the page. And there's a chat room there. You don't have to register. You don't have to pay. You don't even have to use your real name. And you can ask questions. So we'll keep that open while Roger's here.
That'd be great. I'd love to hear some questions, too.
Yeah. Well, they should if they've seen your work and everything. So, I don't know. Should we start with, like, how you got started? I mean, where do you want to start, Roger?
All right, let's start at the beginning, and I always wanted to be a cartoonist, even as a young kid. And, went into art school. I followed the traditional path of going to a community college first, and I went to FIT in New York City.
What's that? FIT?
Yeah, that's the Fashion Institute of Technology.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And they have a nice illustration program there.
Oh.
And then from there, I went to become a graphic designer and a product designer and things like that. I even worked at IBM for a few years. And then finally, I hit my mid-40s, and I said, now I want to pursue my original dream of being a cartoonist.
Oh.
So I took it upon myself. Okay, I'm going to do it. This is the year I'm going to start. And I needed a subject, and my father suggested the little gray guys, the little grays, the extraterrestrials. That he said that's a great subject and hasn't been really explored a lot. So I took it upon myself to start that comic strip called The Gray Zone.
Oh, it's hilarious.
So, thank you so much.
I was going through them earlier today and downloading some so we can show the folks tonight, and it's like every single one it just was killing me.
It's so nice, and it's interesting. In the beginning, I didn't know what to do, so I was, I drew the first 10, and then I said, well, what am I going to do with it? And then this is, about 5 years ago, and then someone suggested put it online, see what happens, and then started its own little page, on Facebook, and then slowly but surely, more and more people started to read it.
Yeah.
And then it, first it was 500 people, then 1,000, and now it's over 16,000 people that are reading the strip.
Wow.
And it's grown on its own, but I'm hoping to take it to the next level where you become syndicated and published and all that good stuff. But some people think that it's too much of a niche subject, but I disagree. I think it's a mainstream subject.
Yeah, a lot of your stuff, it has the alien or paranormal slant, but it also has very, very relatable regular content, and I think that's maybe what excited me. In fact, let me pop open the screen I made with some of your cartoons there.
Sure. Oh, okay.
Can you see those?
Yeah, it looks great.
Oh, your video. You got the. Hold on. Got to get rid of the wrong title, and I don't have your video. I lost your video somehow.
Okay. Well, now I see the 50 Grays in the Shade cartoon up there.
I don't know why I'm having troubles with your Skype image. That's bizarre. Huh.
Well, I'm seeing. It looks good. What I'm seeing.
Oh, well, I can see the Skype logo, but I can't see your face. That's weird. I know sometimes it'll pop in and pop out, but what happened? Let me switch back to the other one.
Sure.
Maybe that. Oh, as soon as I did that, you popped in.
Okay. Oh, now the logo's gone.
He's back. Yeah. So there we go. So we have. I'm gonna be selfish here, and I'm gonna skip forward. Let's see how far. This one.
Okay.
This one was killing me, and I was like, "Look, he's got the little IKEA logo and everything."
It's funny. People really took to this one. They liked it. It's relatable. Most people have gone and visited an IKEA, and the joke is that you have to put everything together yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I added the little umlaut over the Y on the pyramid logo. And then some Scandinavian people actually took time to write me and said, in Swedish and Norwegian, it's spelled the same way. You don't need those little dots on top. But I said, but that's what Americans think. That's what we think. That it's got the little dot. You got to have the dots on it.
Somebody sent us a text message. They want to know, are you in a relationship?
No, not right now. Nope.
Okay. Well, you heard his answer.
This is like a Match.com show.
Well, hey, you know what? We'll take all the questions we can get, right?
Exactly.
Oops. Let me go back. We might
go back to that. That was a recent one, and that was a little bit controversial. And it actually got the most, feedback and action of any of my previous cartoons.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if people, if they can read it.
Let me. I think I can adjust it here. Let me just unlock the slideshow so I can move it over just a smidge. All right, we'll just smidge it over. There we go.
Ah, perfect.
We'll let it cover me. There we go.
That's all right. No. It looks good on my side.
Yeah, there we go. That should be good. We'll leave it there. That one just made me howl. I was just like, it's so clever, and the innuendo is awesome. So yeah, I could see where
this one walked the good line between being somewhat innocent and a little bit edgy, and maybe not really 100% appropriate, because it got overwhelmingly positive feedback and comments, but some people who do suffer from bipolar disorder didn't think it was funny.
Well, they're bipolar. They'll forget about it,
They'll forget about it soon, exactly. So this one really knocked it out of the park for me. And you never know what's going to hit. I remember drawing this like a few nights ago, and I thought it was okay. I wasn't so happy the way the penguin turned out. And I said, it's 10 o'clock at night. I'm just going to, wrap it up, and I'll just post and see what happens. And it just took off. So I was happy.
Let's see if the person that's in the chat room, do you want to comment about the cartoon? Are you offended by it, or do you like it? There might be a little bit of a delay, so we might have to wait to see. But as we're waiting, actually, anybody that's in the chat room, feel free to jump in and mention these things. Or questions about them, or if you just like the cartoons or what have you. Oh, they're not responding anymore. Huh. Well, maybe there's a big enough delay or something. I don't know.
Okay.
We won't worry about it.
Yeah, we can keep going.
They'll chime in whenever they feel like it.
Right.
I do have a question. Do you do these entirely on the computer, or do you hand sketch them out, or do you
I hand sketch them out, and I'm halfway in the old world, and the other foot's in the new world, so they're done on a 14-inch by 17-inch piece of drawing paper with Sharpies. Remember Sharpies?
Yeah.
And then I draw it that way, and then I have a cheap camera from Walmart, and then on a tripod I photograph it down on the floor. Then I bring it into Photoshop, and then I add the coloring that you see there, and then the captions.
Oh wow! The person in our chat room said that they love it.
Oh, good. I'm happy. So good. Now I have 16,001 fans. It's good. Yay!
Yay! Incidentally, in the chat room, if you don't want the generic name that is automatically assigned to you, you can the little customize thing right below where you type your message. You can change your name, you can change your font color, just so you know. And that smiley face also lets you put in emoticons. Just letting people know. But hopefully they like the new chat room. I was so frustrated last Thursday and even Friday because people's chat weren't getting through. And I had on Devin and Brett, and I know there were people that were there because I could see the stats, but their questions weren't coming through the previous tool that was supposed to be. So I'm very pleased that this little plug-in for the website's working. So Sorry, I guess I'm being selfish right now.
Oh, that's okay. Listen, you're the host. You got to keep the ship running.
Yeah. Oh, the chat person said that it's one of their favorite cartoons.
Oh, that's great. I remember the highest praise I got was a young woman from Florida has a tattoo on her arm of one of my little gray guys.
No.
Yeah, about 7 inches long, on her shoulder.
Wow.
And I said, oh my God. And she took it from a little picture from the Facebook. And I said, let me know next time. I'll send you a better quality image, that the tattoo artist can work. Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, that was very cool. That's probably the most flattering.
That is. Yeah. Maybe that's the person in the chat room. Do you have Roger's alien person on your shoulder?
Is her name hyphenated?
They're using the generic name, so.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know.
I like this one too. This one cracked me up.
Yeah, and some people, they say, oh, it's a groaner, and then, they comment, like, oh my God, such a bad pun. And then, but I put some of these on Reddit. Mm-hmm. And the people on Reddit are so snarky and so mean. I kind of like that though. And and they, they say like, they call my work like hashtag stuff grandma posts. Yes. All right. So that's. But I like putting the stuff up there, and a couple of them do all right. If it's up to their standards. But so what a different audience from Twitter and from Facebook.
Yeah, I've gotten on Reddit just because their logo is an alien, and it's like, come on.
It's a different world, than.
I'm still trying to figure it out. I haven't figured it out yet, but I'm working on it.
Yeah, be prepared to get some good criticism because they're not shy with it.
Good. Yeah. So this cartoon also, I really like the background there through the doorway. It kind of reminds me of some of the background I use on the Cosmic Cafe show.
This one was inspired by a friend of mine who's a real estate agent.
Oh.
and I remember watching him, give his spiel, to some prospective buyers, and then he kept mentioning the closet space. And then I said, oh yeah, that'd be, if the aliens, they would probably be pretty appealing to them. So, and you could see the agent, she's wearing her real estate jacket.
Yeah. And the red lipstick.
Yeah, of course. Well, she wants to look professional. So.
Absolutely. Well, I like it.
Thank you.
This one I mean, if you can't relate to this one, then you've never either A, been a kid or B, have a kid.
You got it. You guys, I don't have children, but I keep hearing, and I heard that like Lego is making like special slippers now you can buy, so that if you step on your kid's Legos, he won't be beat up like these guys.
Hey, maybe the Lego slippers would like help you recollect the Legos on the floor.
Yeah, pick it up like a vacuum cleaner.
Or like plug in. They got the holes on the bottom.
Oh, like on the bottom has those little nubs on it.
Yeah. It's like 51 bags of gray Earl tea.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I love it.
Oh my. This one was great too.
Oh, I'm glad you like. I do a lot of Star Wars and Star Trek references, and what's interesting about being a cartoonist is you have to think about what references are well known enough. Like a younger person or like a teenager, like they know what the Death Star is, because already it's 30 years ago or more. And I'm always struggling with that. Like, how do I make it somewhat contemporary? Because most of the fans are in their mid-30s and up.
Okay.
And very few are younger people, so it's a struggle to relate to them, especially in this medium, in cartooning.
I'm curious. Did you have any issues or get any letters from George Lucas doesn't own it anymore, but I guess it's Disney.
No, Disney. No, what's interesting, and people asked this before, is that it falls under the theme of satire.
Oh.
And you can satirize anything. You can you put an Apple computer there or a Google logo if it's in a satirical manner. So it's completely covered under free speech, and as long as I'm not trying to sell Star Wars merchandise or something like that. But I can certainly, I've put Donald Trump in cartoons. I've put, any celebrities, presidents. You have complete freedom in that respect.
Kind of like what I do.
Yeah, is that true?
Well, I make fun of.
Yeah, I mean, you're a broadcaster, and you're speaking, and you're observing, and so I think it falls under that. I've done Disney characters. Wile E. Coyote was in a recent one. That they're interacting with him. So it does Mario from. So far, no problems. So knock on wood.
Cool.
Let's keep it that way.
We have some more questions from the chat room. So let me go back to You Big. We'll save whatever last cartoons we have there.
Great.
So we have two new questions here. Is what inspired you to become a cartoonist?
Okay.
And then the next question was, why did you pick the Greys?
Okay. So the inspiration for becoming a cartoonist was when I was a young kid, I loved comic books, and then I loved Mad magazine. I don't know how many people still read it or remember it.
I remember it.
There, I loved Al Jaffe. He was one of the cartoonists. He did that famous fold-in on the back. He was one of those cartoonists. Sergio Aragnos, I hope I'm saying his name right. Don Martin, he was a big inspiration for me. So seeing those, every month I would get the Mad magazine. And then, of course, reading the Sunday Funnies, loving Snoopy. And then later in life, in the 80s, my biggest inspiration is Gary Larson from The Far Side.
Oh, gosh, yes.
And I read about how he went about becoming a cartoonist. He was working in a record store, and then he sent a couple, of his strips to a local paper, and they loved it. And then, of course, it took off from there, and he became huge. But now I'm worried because sometimes I talk to younger people, and, they ask me that, and I say, Gary Larson, and they're like, who? And then I don't know. I hope I'm not too late to the game because, Garfield and Heathcliff. I met the creator. I mean, the nephew of the creator of Heathcliff at one of these Comic-Cons, and I was like starstruck to meet him because he's Heathcliff. To me, it's a big deal. And this poor guy is there all by himself. Nobody was coming to speak to him or do anything. And I was, so amazed. I'm meeting one of my heroes. And so I'm wondering, how do you stay contemporary and what's going on now with computers and in the internet and still do something that's really a classic medium, that's been done for 150 years. Yeah.
Well, I think you have the high quality stuff. It's sticking out. It's stuck out for me, and it's just a matter of time. I think kind of like what I'm doing here with the Cosmic Cafe. You're doing. You're developing and building more and more quality content. You're getting followers, people that are starting to turn to you on a regular basis, and anticipating your new work. So
and then you're honing your craft every evening that you broadcast, and then I think every time I put pen to paper you get a little bit better. And then I look back 5 years ago, and I'm embarrassed looking at my cartoons from 5 years ago. I said, oh, that's not even funny, it's drawn horribly, and then I think with time you do get better, whatever it is that you're doing. You're playing the violin or a baseball player, you're gonna get better with practice. So I said to myself 5 years ago, I'm going to draw a new cartoon every day. Birthdays, Christmas. If I feel sick, if I'm tired, I'm going to do it because I'm not going to go to bed till the drawing is done and ready for the following morning. And now it comes naturally, and it's not a chore anymore.
Oh, see, that's really important. You hear that about a lot of professionals, whether it's acting or writing or, in your case, cartooning. And even myself, I started doing this live show in late October and kind of skipped through November and December, building it. And I've kept all the old episodes up there, as horrible as they are. And just because, I want people that are really curious about it to be able to see the growth. And I imagine same for you. You leave it up there so people can see.
Yeah, that's a good point. And then sometimes you're embarrassed by it, and then I'll get a notification that somebody liked a cartoon from 4 years ago. And I say, oh, thank goodness. I didn't even have color then. Yeah. I think the aliens look kind of really weird. Their eyes were kind of tiny, and I think what happens with every cartoonist, the longer they work, the more their stuff looks like Disney. It just ends up, their eyes get bigger, they get more teeth, and then you could see the evolution, like an early Garfield. And then how he looks now. Like Garfield was walking on all fours in the beginning, and now he stands up, and he's walking on his two hind legs, And so it's
nice
the evolution
variety.
Yeah.
It's nice variety.
Yeah.
I should mention that because I noticed I'm in the chat room, and for some reason, because I've been logged in the chat room since before we started, I don't know if our viewer is able to see the video in the chat room or not, but they may need to just hit refresh on their page, and the video should automatically load, the YouTube video. So I want to mention that if they're trying to go between windows or something, it should all play on the same page. In fact, I'll just test that theory right now. And as I'm testing that, yeah. So I hit refresh on my page. So if you're not seeing the live feed, just hit refresh on your page and you'll see the live feed. So make sure I mention that to them. So that's kind of an annoying feature. I don't know how to fix that, but I'll figure that out eventually. But see, it's a work in progress.
A work in progress, yeah. I mean, this is the first time that I've had a video interview, so that's kind of exciting. Usually it was just an audio. So this
really?
Adds a nice dimension to it.
Well, I guess this would be your second, because you were on OC Choppers, and we got to see some of your stuff there, right?
Yeah, and then, but I was so nervous. They had these big cameramen guys, and they had these giant cameras on their shoulders, and it's in your face, and I was nervous because he's one of my heroes. I'm a motorcyclist, and I watch his show, since the beginning.
Yeah.
And it's like meeting Darth Vader, and he's a big muscle guy, and he's got the tattoos everywhere, and he's really gruff, nice to meet you, kid. So I was so nervous showing my stuff, and but a friend of mine was a producer on the show that I went to high school with, and he says, "Do you want to come on and get an interview for a job over there, and you could show your artwork?" I said, "Yeah." And then like 2 days later, there I was. I rode my motorcycle down there, and my backpack, as you saw, and I kept pulling stuff out.
Now, where did they tape that?
It's in Orange County, New York, so it's close to me. I'm in Putnam County, New York. I know you're out on the West Coast.
Yeah.
But we're about an hour north of New York City, and then about another hour north of that is Orange County, and that's where those guys are. And they have that giant building, and all those incredible choppers are there, and they have a cafe and a bowling alley, and it's really something to see.
Oh, we lost your video there momentarily. Not sure why.
Now I see a big Skype logo.
Yeah, let me try switching screens. Maybe we'll go back to... yeah, I don't know why we're having so much trouble with Skype tonight. See if that fixes it. No, not really. See if we go back here. Sorry about that, Roger.
Hey, no problem. You can talk. You can show the cartoons if you like. That's fine too.
Yeah, just trying to figure out why it's having so much...
Now I see a large Skype logo.
Ah, we got you back.
Okay, good.
Whew.
It's buggy.
I'm still curious about the OC choppers, and I imagine the viewer must, or anybody in the chat room, they want to ask about it. Oh, here we go. They just asked the question: do you ever personalize cartoons? There we go. That's a good question.
I have, and I do listen to the people who read it, and they said, "Oh, you should do this subject," or "Have you ever drawn anything about these type of aliens?" Or a lot of people like to mention current topics. Something that's going on. That minute. Like now, I was thinking maybe tomorrow's cartoon. Everything in the news now is about the election, of course, and now there's going to be an election in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
And I had the idea that maybe the aliens are abducting, these people that wear those, patriotic hats and so on. And then, he's calling the home office and he says, "We just picked up 2 more delegates from New Hampshire." So, that's the way. So people make suggestions and, why don't you talk about this? Why don't you do this? And it does come out. And, and I said, thank you for the idea. It was and you know what's it's neat about Facebook and all social media is that you get feedback immediately. And sometimes the captions that the people make are better than mine, I said, "Oh, I wish I thought of that."
Have you ever done a cartoon where you just couldn't come up with a caption, but you loved it so much, so you just posted it and did one of those caption this?
I should do that. I never did it because I think the other way. Like I start with, I see a scene and then I hear the caption at once. So I never, but I like that idea of add this caption. I think a little while ago I gave 3 captions and choose your favorite, type of thing.
Maybe you could do it as a contest,
yeah.
Whoever comes up with the best caption and is
gets a book.
Huh?
Yeah, gets a book.
Gets a what?
a free book.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I've given away books. There's charity. These Comic Cons, they have charity things and so on. So, and like little auctions that they do.
Yeah.
So I'll donate books and things like that. And then there's contests like that you can give books away and get just get the audience involved.
Maybe next time we have you on the show, we'll if you're willing to give away a book or two, we'll give away some books in the chat room.
Sure. So next time we do it, I'm happy to do it. It's always good publicity, and people like it, and it's good to have your work shown.
Well, somebody just they just said no problems watching, so that's good. Oh, okay. Wow, they must be on a bit of a time delay there.
Okay.
Well, no, I see the live feed is showing the now this one I had to show this one tonight, the Uranus one, because Uranus is last week I think I did 2 different stories on Uranus that were posted by a couple of different friends of mine.
Isn't that terrible?
And I mean, it always makes you laugh anyways, and you just totally nailed it with this.
Oh, thank you. That one was very popular and kind of weird and a little bit like Dr. Seuss. The telescope is looping around, and the Uranus jokes always do really well. Yeah. And I had done this reminds me about, you said that do you listen to the readers, and the answer is yes, because I had done one where the alien is mooning astronomers inside those large observatories, with the big telescope.
Oh, I think I saw that one.
Yeah, and then the guy inside says, "Sir, there's a crack in our lens."
I remember that.
Yeah, so that was actually suggested by somebody, and I said that's great, and they were saying that word or that phrase in referring to another cartoon, and it got me thinking that would be a good line for mooning a big telescope lens.
It's great. It's great. I'm gonna see if the big video works again.
Sure, give it a shot.
I don't see any video. I don't know what's wrong with Skype. That's so weird. That is so strange. That is annoying. I don't know why it won't show your big video now. Well, Roger, let's go back to your pictures then.
Sure, I love that's even better. I'm not much to look at, so it's better to look at the cartoon.
Well, we definitely want, and I just have a very, very small sampling, just so everybody knows. This is just a really small sampling of what he has available. And these are, I think, the more recent ones that you have on your website, too. You're
showing this one, with the crop circles, and these appeal to people like your viewers who are more knowledgeable about the paranormal and extraterrestrial interactions. Yeah. So you have to know about crop circles. You have to know about those symbols.
Yeah.
And what's going on. And now the crops here are getting their revenge. On the poor alien.
Yeah.
And people have commented that they like the fact that typically people think of these little gray guys as very logical and cold and no expression. And I have a lot of fun with exaggerating their expressions and their facial features.
Yeah.
And you'd think that they're so far ahead of us that they wouldn't have the problems that we humans do of jealousy and greed and being clumsy and lazy. They when you put those attributes onto them, I think it really works and is very relatable.
This one is sorry, it kind of got impatient and decided to change on us already. Our person in the chat room says, "I'm a huge fan. I love your Snoopy mug picture."
Oh, okay, yes.
I think I have a Snoopy picture. Let me see. Yes. I think I passed that up, but let's see. Where was that? I think that was. Here we go. Yeah, I think we went over this a little fast. We didn't even talk about it.
Oh yeah. So this one did very well. So here's a good example of using obviously the Schultz character of Snoopy, and here you need some implicit knowledge, as a reader.
The Red Baron.
That he was fighting. Well, he was fighting the Red Baron.
Yeah.
He had to stop with Camel. That was his plane.
Right.
So Snoopy was fighting against the Red Baron, and then obviously, so maybe this is what happened. This is why the aliens crashed in Roswell. Snoopy shot them down. But I think that that viewer is referring to a picture I took of my coffee mug, which is a Snoopy coffee mug.
Oh, okay.
And I photographed it like in the morning when I'm still working on the drawing. I have my cup of coffee, and there's my drawing. But Snoopy and Peanuts, huge influence on me.
Absolutely, Charles Schultz.
Well, Master.
Peanuts or Charles Schultz has an influence in my life as well, indirectly, because my dad's name is Charlie Brown. That's his legal name. And so he grew up with being always ridiculed as Charlie Brown. and of course, but my dad later in life, or he's still alive, but he's embraced it, and he actually now wears it with a badge of pride, being Charlie Brown.
Yeah, no, I think he should.
And he, in fact, he has one of the Jack Russell Terrier dogs that was one of the puppies from my dog. We gave him the puppy, and he named it Snoopy. So he has his Snoopy.
How perfect. That's perfect. He would be happy to see a cartoon I did a little while ago. It's a 4-panel. Lucy is there holding the football.
Okay.
Waiting for poor hapless Charlie Brown to come, and break his neck as he's trying to kick the ball.
Yeah.
And in the very last panel, the aliens abduct Lucy, and the ball is just sitting there, and Charlie Brown gets to finally, he kicks it. And it is very satisfying.
I gotta give that to my dad.
Yeah, they abducted Lucy.
I totally got to give that to my dad. He'll love it.
Yeah, you can find it. You got to go back a little bit, but it's there. I'll email it to you.
Oh, thank you. All right, so we did this one, and this one, all the chicks out there have gotta love this one.
They gotta love it. Every woman I know, they rave about the book. I never read it, and of course the guy's name is Gray, so I had to do a couple plays on that.
Yeah.
And so this was one of them, and one of the more popular ones. And you know what? The people took the time to count how many aliens I drew to make sure there was 50, and they said, no, I only see 48. And then I said, well, there's, each of those hands maybe just one. So there's your other 2 missing guys. They're inside the tree.
Is that one alien flipping them off?
I think he's more like, doing this, like checking the wind.
Oh, okay. We'll stick with that story.
Good. I try to keep it somewhat family friendly. Yeah, I was really influenced by the Warner Brothers cartoons. Remember when you were watching the Bugs Bunny shows? As a kid, you laughed at different parts than when you got older, and you saw the references they were making for an older audience. So
yeah,
I want to keep it in that realm.
No, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. Yeah. It's good to it's good to keep it intellectual and innuendo like that. And
yeah, and it's a good point you bring up, because I like to keep I like that 3-second pause. Like they read a cartoon 1, 2, 3, and then you get it. But any longer than that, and it doesn't work. Like sometimes if there's too many layers and too hard to get to the payoff, and the payoff's not worth it.
Yeah.
You're like, I just wasted my time. So it's a delicate balance.
If it's too abstract, yeah, they won't.
And then you make two. I remember recently I did a cartoon where the Minotaur. Do you remember the Minotaur from Greek mythology?
Of course, yeah, half man, half horse.
Yeah, and then no, I'm sorry, no, he's half bull, half man.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry,
yeah,
you're right.
Centaur is the half man, half. But I thought, I went to high school and we had to study Greek mythology, and I loved that character of the Minotaur, and he was living in the maze, remember? And then, they went to kill him, and then, because he was creating earthquakes. So anyway, I made a reference to the Minotaur, and it just didn't work, because I think people forgot or were never exposed to that, the Greek mythology that I learned, in 10th or 11th grade. And, the Minotaur was walking through a corn maze that the aliens had made. And then when he comes out and he goes, piece of cake, could do it in my sleep. Because he lives in a maze. But it was so tortured, and it just didn't, and it fell flat.
Well, the fact that you sit down and do this every single day and make a point, some days you're just going to be better than others, and like I said, some are going to be a little more abstract or reference something that's not quite as contemporary, but you know what? There's people out there that will get those really subtle references like what you just described, and so as your body of work continues to grow and expand, people will go back too. Maybe they'll read a book or see a movie about the Minotaur or something, and they'll be going through your Facebook page or your main website, grayzonecomics.com, and they'll go, oh yeah, now I get it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Now you remind me of another cartoon that I did. Do you remember Robin Williams? He had that movie, Dead Poets Society.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the phrase in that movie was "Carpe diem," seize the day.
Right.
That was that catchphrase in that movie, and then I changed it around so that those prep school boys, in the red sweaters, they were carrying Robin Williams on their shoulder, like triumphantly through the courtyard. But I changed them all to the little gray guy aliens, and they're carrying Robin Williams, and they say, "Carp Homo sapien," seize the human. And I thought it was right, and then it was funny, and then some people get it, some people don't, and then some professor of Latin studies, he pointed out to me that was incorrect. That the term Homo sapien was not Latin, but it was the incorrect form of Latin, and it was actually wrong.
Oh.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So, exactly. And then you mentioned the penguin, remember, with the bipolar disorder.
Yeah.
That more people were pointing out that penguins do not live in the North Pole, only in the South Pole. So it's okay that I was making fun of mentally ill people, but don't you dare say that penguins live in the North Pole, because they're only in the South Pole.
Why is that, anyways? I mean, do you have any clue why penguins only live in the South Pole, not the North Pole?
I understand, but the funny part was that they can. I can accept the fact that there are aliens. That I can believe.
Yeah.
I can believe that there's a talking penguin.
Yeah.
And then I can believe that this poor penguin suffers from bipolarism, but I cannot accept the fact that he would go to the North Pole. There's no way he's going to the Arctic, only to the Antarctic.
Only to the Antarctic.
Yes, that I found interesting. They took issue with that.
Maybe they're only in the Antarctic because all the polar bears are only in the Arctic.
Are up in the north, exactly. So that's why they went to the other side.
That's killing me.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, we're getting close to the top of the hour. I know it's getting late for you over there on the East Coast. GrayZoneComics.com, so people can go there. Let's see. Do I have any more picture of them? Let me just double check. We're
Sure.
back to the beginning. So
yeah. But come to the webpage, check it out. They're all up there. I encourage people to share it. I'm hoping that if it's well known enough that a publisher or a syndication would say, "Hey, who's this guy? Let's grab him."
Absolutely. Or buy your books and so you can be self-sufficient and keep doing what you're doing. I also posted links on the Daily Show recaps, so that'll be available tomorrow. They also retweeted your information on Facebook earlier today, so
I appreciate that.
hopefully people won't have any problems. Again, also it's just GrayZoneComics.com, so that's pretty simple.
Yep.
And tell Roger how much you loved his work and his appearance here on the Cosmic Cafe show. I appreciate that as well. And anytime you want to come back, Roger, you have just so much great stuff that really is parallels what we do here at the cafe. Just try and keep it, we try and keep it non-political. We just try and keep it lighthearted. I mean, there's plenty of places out there on the internet for people to go for politics and all that other nonsense. So I'm trying to make this like a little safe refuge where people can just come here, have a nice laugh, enjoy, and boy, you sure fit in great. And
appreciate it, Eric. It was a lot of fun.
Well, it's been hilarious for me as well. I'm not sure people see me laugh so much, and I really appreciate our anonymous patrons in the brand new, as of today, Cosmic Cafe Show live chat room, and that's over at CosmicCafeShow.com. Just click on the chat or /live chat, or if you don't want to type it all out, it's ccs.chat. It's one of those new high domain level names, so ccs.chat. With that, Roger, let me just go ahead and close up the show and and if you want to hang on and chat for a minute or two after the show, that'll be great.
That sounds good to me.
All right, hang on a second here. Let's go ahead and... Oh, I don't know what happened to my graphic. Boy, the show is full of gremlins and ghosts tonight. Well, I'm missing my graphic, but... Oh, well, what can you do, right? Thanks again for tuning in to the Cosmic Cafe Show. Again, you can find us on all your favorite social media. Basically, /Cosmic Cafe Show, like Twitter, /Cosmic Cafe, Facebook, blah, blah, Instagram, Pinterest. We're pretty much all there, so you can find us. And with that, boy, this has been a bug-ridden night, but we've got through it. We had a whole heck of a lot of fun with Roger. I'm so happy we were able to get today's show out, despite my little software crash earlier. Again, thank you so much to our friend who joined us, our anonymous friend who joined us in the chat room and hung in there throughout the show. So thank you, hat tip to you as well. Again, have a great evening, and we'll see you back here 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. And thanks again to Roger Cosmic, Gray Zone Comics, right? GrayZoneComics.com.
Perfect.
My graphics aren't popping up like I wanted, but hey, it's all live. What are you going to do? Just enjoy life. Have a great evening, my friends, and don't forget to drink some of your Grey Earl tea tonight. Yes, indeed. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.